ovation, a standing ovation. And Carter takes his cap off and moves into the batter's box. He has hit 400 against the Cubs this year, including a home run. He's missing it for all it's worth, and you can't blame him. Ground ball. Sandberg throws them out. One away.
Well, Harry, in a perfect world or a movie script, Gary Carter would have stepped up and hit the first pitch out of the park. But this is not a movie script, and Gary Carter grounds to second base. And he might have just hit the last home run of his career in Wrigley Field. And if you remember, Harry, one of the fans caught the ball, would not give it back. And maybe he was a portent of things to come. Maybe he realized that this would be the last home run Gary Carter would ever hit. And what a souvenir that is. Because like the tradition in Wrigley Field, always throwing the opposition's ball back, the fan kept it, much to the dismay of the crowd.
There are only a few more days left to vote for the Cub MVP of '92. To vote, call 1-900-820-CUBS at $1.45 per call. All proceeds benefit charity. Just be ready with your favorite player's uniform number. Mark raised 7% of the 16,000 plus votes cast today. And a reminder, this coming Friday, October 2nd, during our Leadoff Man program, we'll honor the winning player. So once again, a rousing standing ovation for Gary Carter, playing in his final game in front of the home crowd here at Olympic Stadium. Announced his retirement when we came into this series on Friday. They've been talking about it, writing about it ever since. What a career it has been for Carter. Former Rookie of the Year, led the National League in RBIs in 1984. Caught in over 2,000 games, third all-time behind Bob Boone and Carlton Fisk.
We have a tendency to equate longevity with Hall of Fame numbers. Do you think Gary Carter's numbers are good enough to put him in the Hall of Fame?
Oh, yeah. Because I think you have to do that sometimes, Tony, basing it on the position. And what he's been able to accomplish, over 300 home runs, countless runs batted in lifetime, almost 270 hitter, the Gold Gloves, absolutely.
Well, we'll know 5 years after this year.
He looked at a call third, so Carter on his day has bounced to second and struck out looking. You know, I'll never forget, Stoney, as long as I live, the final game that Johnny Bench played in. Sellout crowd at Riverfront Stadium. Arguably the best player that ever put on a Reds uniform. You could debate that all day long. Pete Rose, Frank Robinson, whomever you choose. But in that final game, Johnny Bench hit a home run. And it was absolutely magical, the atmosphere in that ballpark as he rounded the bases, high-fiving the first base coach, third base coach, fist pumping in the air, and the crowd standing and just roaring. It was a terrific sight.
Well, we talked about it earlier, Tom. If it was a Hollywood script, that's the way it would end for all great players. It's good that it ended that way for Johnny Bench. I don't know if it's going to end that way today for Gary Carter.
Arias will throw out Wilfredo Cordero.
Ball 4. And that is the second man walk by Morgan. He's only given up 1 hit. And that is back. And listen to the hand. Another standing ovation for Gary Carter.
This game goes 15 innings, Harry. The fans are going to be tired of giving Gary Carter a standing ovation. They're just trying to show him that they really appreciate what he's meant to the franchise over the years.
It's amazing. Again, he tips his cap to the crowd. It already has been announced he will remain in the Montreal organization at some position to be determined later.
I wonder, Harry, if they'll retire his number 8.
I'm sure they will. He's been an easy out twice. Throw to first, runner back.
Now the outfield is about 3 or 4 steps deeper than normal because they have to cut off the gaps and stop Walker from scoring on a double.
Swung, and he fouled it out of play into the stand. 0-1 the count. You know what's going through his mind? The same thoughts running through these Montreal fans' minds. 0-1 the count. Fouled it back and tried to hit that ball towards right field, and he's in the hole. 0-2.
Well, if by some chance Gary Carter were to hit a home run here, Harry, they would probably have to spend about $10 million to repair the damage to this ballpark. The fans would just tear it down.
0-2 the count. There's a drive in the deep right field, way back, way back. A base hit. Here comes the runner around third. And Carter, with a count of 0-2, has put the Expos into the lead. Look at, holy cow, what an emotional moment here in Montreal. Listen to these people. Watch Carter. Enjoy it all, pal. You've earned it. And he's going to leave the field so he can hear the plaudits of the crowd again. Listen. Hit the double over Dawson's head in the deep right center.
And maybe this will be a Hollywood ending for Gary Carter, and it's like the passing of the guards. Tim Laker is the man they think is going to catch for them next year. He comes out, almost takes the baton from Gary Carter, confronting at second, and Carter going to take a curtain call.
Here it comes out again. Actually, a very happy dugout for everybody involved. It's Cordero now, 1-0 Montreal. Boy, he hit that double with a count of 0-2 against a veteran pitcher like Nick Morgan. And it seemed like a fastball.
It was a fastball. Morgan wanted to keep it away, Harry, but he got it up. We talked about the outfielders playing a little deeper than normal. Andre Dawson probably should have been a couple steps deeper because Gary Carter hit it over his head and will isolate on Carter. He knows that Walker is going to score on that double, and Carter just hoping it doesn't one hop out of the park.
How could you ever let a guy like that ever leave that organization in the first place? He did. He went to New York. But now he's back and where he's announced his retirement. Ground ball sharply hit. Arias over to first to retire the side. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 left. We've gone through 7, and now Montreal leads 1-0. Harry Caray back in the ballpark as we go into the 8th inning. Boy, the emotion of the moment, the emotion of the entire day, all centered around Gary Carter, the kid who joined this ball club 19 years ago at age 19. Now at age 38, he's already announced his retirement. This is probably the last time he'll ever come to bat as an Expo. Certainly it is the last time this year. And it's not likely he'll play on this road trip that the Expos are going on. Listen to the crowd.
There's the man of the hour here in Montreal, Gary Carter.
That last pitch, 93 miles an hour. Almost like a change of pace.
And this one will probably be the hardest one he will have thrown today.
High pop foul. Back. Out of play. The only pitch that might cost him a home run would be a fastball. As hard as he throws it, if Wilkinson happened to meet it, it would be a home run. 2 out, nobody on. 1-0, Montreal. Fouled it off again. Wilkins giving him a battle. 0-2 the count.
Laker wants his fastball on the outside corner at 0-2. Wetland got that one up and in. If he hits that outside corner at the knee, that's going to be it for today.
Well, ready. Pass it off. The game is over. And the Cubs defeat 1-0. We'll be back in a moment.
Game summary is brought to you by Burger King, where you always get great tasting food your way, right away.
And the Montreal Expos have swept the series. 1 run, only 3 hits, 1 error for Montreal. Rojas, the winner, 7-1. John Wetland, who fanned 3 of the 4 men he faced, his 36th save. No runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Cubs. Mike Morgan, although giving only 2 hits, the loser. He now has won 15 and lost 8. The Budweiser play of the day, no doubt about it. 2 out. And Walker on first base. Gary Carter with a count of 0-2 hits his double over Dawson's head up against the right center field wall. Larry Walker scores the only run of the ball game, and the final, Montreal wins it 1-0. We'll be back with a final word in a moment. Into the leadoff man at 1 o'clock. Stay tuned now for Steve and the 10th inning show. Harry Caray from Montreal. So long, everybody.
He stays right in there, takes high, ball 4. That is the second walk issued by Morgan, the first since the 3rd batter of the game, Ivan Calderon, back in the 1st inning. But Walker not only can hurt you with a long ball, but he can hurt you with his legs, because he can steal a base. In fact, Walker this year has 17. He's been thrown out 6 times. Guess who's coming up?
Can you believe these fans, Tommy? This is the 5th time that they've given this guy, Gary Carter, a standing ovation. Boy, how he must feel.
Carter again tips his cap. They are roaring. 41,082 fans paying tribute to Gary Carter. And now he tips his cap again. Mike Morgan just walking around the mound.
And Mike's got to keep his concentration. He's got to worry about Walker on first base.
Just a thunderous ovation here in this Dome Stadium for Gary Carter. He's 0 for 2 in the game. Bounced to second, struck out looking. There's a throw to first. Crowd will remain standing and cheering. He wasn't born a Canadian, but he's about as popular as an American can be in Canada, I'll tell you that. High pop foul on a play, first base side.
The guy had a glove.
Yeah.
And he throws his glove at the ball instead of catching it.
Gary Carter waiting. Walker.
Yeah, you might see Walker on an 0-2 count here. Try to go, so.
Here's the pitch. Carter, a fly ball in a deep right center field. Dawson on the run. He cannot get it. Rounding third. Coming in to score is Walker. Gary Carter pumping his fist into the air. And this place is rabid right now. Carter, in his final day as a Montreal player, and well, let the crowd tell the story. He's given them a 1-0 lead.
And that'll be it for Gary Carter. They're going to pinch run for him. And what a way to go out.
Carter shaking hands, and here he comes. Holding his helmet high into the air. Boy, what an emotional moment for him. Just now getting back to the dugout. They will continue to roar. They'll demand he come out for a curtain call.
Sure. Mike Morgan that time an 0-2 count. So Mike might have lost a little of his concentration with the fans. Yelling and screaming. Got a fastball up and away, and Carter hit a line drive over Dawson's head.
Gary Carter saying goodbye in fashion. Well, you can't help but be touched by this. I know the Cubs are down a run, but boy, this is really something else. The way he must feel.
He feels so great when he got to second base. You know, he just clenched his fist, stood there and said, yeah, this is the way to go out.
So Gary Carter, an RBI double to bring in Larry Walker for the game's only run.
Morgan to the stretch. Checks Walker, deals to the plate. Gary swings. It's a fly ball to right field. Dawson going back, way back, reaches up. It's over his head. Larry Walker's rounding third. He's going to come in to score on a double by Gary Carter. The Expos lead 1-0. He made the magic happen.